First class, come on. Big class, each class, over there. One more here. Okay, I got a couple things to say. I won't, so you might as well stop saying it now. The first thing I'd like to say is the commentators out there. I watched last month.
I wasn't here.
Video release of 7 Years Strong or something. I just want to say, when I'm talking on the microphone, you guys need to shut the fuck up because you can't hear me on the DVD.
I wasn't here.
All I got to say is all better than anything you can say, guys.
I wasn't here.
All right. What is it? You know what? You guys can check whatever you want. Let me address this little situation we got over here. Usually I'd come out here and bitch on all of you. I would. Especially after last month. But you know what? I was watching the show this afternoon, and in this thing, this war between Ring of Honor and CZW, you have to pick a side, right? You can't be in the middle. That's just not going to work. And Super Dragon, me and you have a lot of issues, but this afternoon, you did what was right for this company, and believe it or not, I respect that. Calm down a little, Smarts. Shut up, okay? Let me finish. You see, I've been to Ring of Honor. I've experienced what Ring of Honor is, and it didn't work out too well. Whatever the reason may be, I'm in CZW now, and I'm the fucking CZW Iron Man champion. And that means something. So Ring of Honor, I've got one thing to say to you. Please take me back! I'm fucking begging you! I hate this fucking place! I'll do anything! I'll do anything, I swear! I'll even take this belt! And whatever you want, I'll take this belt, I'll melt it!
To start off with a poetic toupee, Eric Gargiulo and Larry Sweeney on commentary. What brings you up here, champ?
Well, I want to welcome everyone to the winner's circle. Maybe not the winner's circle, but still the ICWA Texarkana Television Championship circle. And, I mean, who could stay away from this kind of action? I just needed to be up here.
Would you ever beg like Kevin Steen did for a job?
No way, and certainly not if I knew Super Dragon was going to be coming out of that curtain and fighting me.
Absolutely. And what a matchup this is. Kevin Steen and Super Dragon have quite a beef. They had a year-long feud in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. As a matter of fact, it was Kevin Steen and Super Dragon that were in the finals of Best of the Best, and Kevin Steen eliminated Super Dragon last year in the Best of the Best.
And Super Dragon isn't really one to forgive people of past grievances. I don't know if getting a victory is a grievance of Kevin Steen's, but I mean, Super Dragon certainly holds that against him, certainly a lot of revenge to be had here, and he's an angry man, he's a bitter guy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, have you ever tried to talk to him? He doesn't even talk to you.
He just flicks you off.
Absolutely. It makes hand gestures.
My God, we've seen so much carnage already tonight.
Oh, absolutely, and they mentioned it earlier, Super Dragon stood tall for Combat Zone Wrestling earlier this afternoon, and no matter what you feel about Super Dragon, you have to take your hat off to him because he did it by himself.
Absolutely, not the guy you would expect to be the company man, not the guy you'd be expecting to fly the corporate colors. Not that CZW is a corporation, but just as a matter of speech. But Super Dragon showing where his alliance lies.
Absolutely. Super Dragon, a former CZW World Heavyweight Champion. Dragon and Steen also wrestled each other as part of a tag match at the Cage of Death 2 years ago, but this one's for the gold.
Man, look at that.
He almost took his mask off with that, Larry. Now, Larry, as a professional athlete yourself and a champion, how would you defend the title against Super Dragon?
Against Super Dragon? Are you kidding? I'd run. I'd take my title down. I'd run. No, I don't know. I mean, how do you can't see into the guy's eyes, you know? If he's got fear, you can't see it. You know, all you can do is try to man up, do your best to fight through that armor. God, I mean, you know, I'm a fan of psychological warfare.
Right.
You know, I get the mind of my opponent. I control them. I get them in the palm of my hand. And when I've got their emotional strings working, then I know what I can do to defeat them. With Super Dragon, how can you do that? You just have to rely on brute force. Now, fortunately, it's Kevin Steen in here, and brute force is his specialty.
Oh, yeah. He's going for that package pile driver. Kevin Steen, 5'10", 219 pounds.
19, that's my lucky number, baby.
There you go.
That has nothing to do with Kevin Steen.
He's going for that package pile driver.
Too early, though.
Oh,
Too early. Super Dragon able to get out.
And it was just back at the cage of death. Oh, wait a minute. We've seen Dragon do this quite a few times where he embarrasses his opponent. That's the thing about Super Dragon, Larry, is he loves to have fun out there at his opponent's expense.
At his opponent's expense. Yeah, I mean, if you want to call it fun, it's fun for him. He's a mean, bitter, screwed-up kind of guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Can I swear on commentary?
You can do whatever you want.
All right.
I'm suing this fucking company. It's like satellite radio out here.
No, he's fucked up. That's what I was going to say. He's a fucked up kind of guy. No regular human being would want to do that. No regular human being would take pleasure in doing what Super Dragon does.
Absolutely, and Super Dragon, you know, there are wrestlers, and you're a prime example. You know, there are champions and there are wrestlers, and there's a different breed of an athlete. There's a different way to wrestle a championship match. You, of course, when you won your Texarkana championship
all 14 times, yeah.
Exactly. You go in there with a different kind of a strategy, and I would imagine, Larry, that it would get easier each time out because you knew what it took. And Super Dragon, who has now won the World Heavyweight Championship here, he knows what he needs to do to win the Ironman title.
Yeah. He's got a lot of recent experience in championship contests, and that can only work to his advantage in this one. Now, the Ironman title is on the line here.
Yes.
It is on the line,
yes.
Okay.
It's not like the Texarkana Championship where it's defended during certain hours.
You know, it can't. The Texarkana Television Championship cannot be defended during Lent.
During Lent?
We're very observant of the holidays down in Mardi Gras, down in New Orleans. You know, they get very offended if we put it up on the line.
I thought you were Jewish.
No, I'm not Jewish. I'm agnostic. But regardless, the title is not agnostic. 40 days and 40 nights, it's not on the line. Man, look at that move right there. The entire 219 pounds of Kevin Steen coming down right in the chest of Super Dragon.
Absolutely.
Or Super D, as we call him in some circles.
Super D. And you can attest to it. When somebody hits you in the chest like that with 219 pounds, I mean, talk about having the wind knocked out of you.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you with as much as you've invested in the match and as much as you want to win, in Super Dragon's case, the Ironman title, and you want to win any match that you're in as a wrestler, when you get hit that hard, all of that, not only it's not just that it doesn't matter, it ceases to be, it ceases to exist, and the only thing that exists is the brute impact of what you've just been hit with. Yeah, it takes a while to recover, and you know, I mean, we'll see if Super Dragon does every hit that is that stiff. That's what happens.
And Kevin Steen, you know, he's like that stalker ex-girlfriend of Super Dragons. He just follows him everywhere. Again, I mentioned Best of the Best. Cage of Death 2 years ago. Last month, when Super Dragon came into CZW, he was expecting to wrestle Ruckus one-on-one for the World Heavyweight Championship. Kevin Steen's involved in the matchup. But again, defeating Kevin Steen for the Ironman Championship, I would have to think, would be the best revenge for Super Dragon.
You gotta think so. You absolutely got to think so, but right now it looks like Super D's out on his feet. I'm just going to go ahead and call him Super D.
Go ahead. You're tight with him.
I'm not tight with him, but I just like calling him Super D. I just like that.
And right, hey, whatever floats your boat. And Kevin Steen now going for that abdominal stretch. And Kevin Steen pulling out an old school move right there. You see a lot of the younger guys that go for the abdominal stretch and just stretch out. But the older guys, you'll see them take the opportunity with the open rib area there and drop elbows or fists in there.
No doubt, whenever I put on an abdominal stretch, I'm taking that elbow pad up and working in a little bit.
There you go.
If you've already got your guy in that position, you might as well get the full advantage out of it. And look at that. Nice counter.
Yeah, absolutely. Super Dragon running in with about 230 pounds himself right into the big boot of Kevin Steen. And Kevin Steen, would you say, Larry, and you're quite the showman out there, would you say Kevin Steen is taking too much time now, jaw-jacking with the fans, or do you think that he should be on top of Super Dragon?
I don't think so, because in a wrestling match, the fans are such a big part of it. The energy of the crowd is such a big part of it. And Kevin Steen jaw-jacking with the fans, I mean, maybe, you know, you never can say, but he's solidifying his presence in this match. He's solidifying his dominance over Super Dragon.
Yeah, and again, I've talked about this throughout the night. It doesn't matter who you are in Combat Zone Wrestling. I mentioned it during your match, and I mentioned it in previous matches. With what happened earlier this afternoon, you have to be looking over your back, because at any point in time, we got some rats here in CZW. We got some rats here in this locker room that are still hanging around.
We need some more rats as far as that matter is concerned, but that's a different kind of rat.
That's a different kind of rat.
No, yeah, you don't know what's going to happen tonight. You just don't.
I mean, it's full-out warfare. I mean, these guys have come in here with quite the attitude, and I don't think they expected what happened earlier. They could walk through the door, as we've seen before. They could come out from underneath the ring. You don't know where they are, and you need to be looking over your back.
Both these guys right now sucking for air, as you always are when you've been in the ring this long. One thing about Super Dragon that I've always wondered about, and he's not a talkative guy, so I haven't asked him, he wears those long pants and those long sleeves, and that's constricting on the skin. And you're in there, you're sweating in the ring, and his body isn't able to breathe like Kevin Steen's is, you know?
I think it kind of works like Under Armour, like the Under Armour clothing does.
Yeah. So, you know, that factors in. You wonder how that is affecting him right now.
And how about Kevin Steen taking a page out of Super Dragon's book with the kicks to the head? And it just goes to show the flexibility of Super Dragon, because Kevin Steen could barely get his leg up in the air. For Super Dragon, he's just kicking and kicking and kicking.
What about that really slapping him right in the back of the head? Talk about a disrespectful thing to do. Just slap somebody right in the back of the head.
And as a wrestler, Larry, wouldn't you say that one of the biggest signs of disrespect is when another wrestler is in the ring with yourself and takes one of your very own moves and uses it against you?
Well, there's no doubt about that, but I mean, this has got to be just as disrespectful, doing push-ups. And now I'm going to go ahead and say, man, that was a little bit too much showmanship, and Kevin Steen just figured that out.
There you go. He allowed Super Dragon to recuperate. Super Dragon, a former CZW World Heavyweight Champion. Super Dragon seeking retribution against Kevin Steen, costing him Best of the Best last year. Kevin Steen costing him the World Heavyweight Championship last month. The Iron Man title on the line.
Hard chop by Super D.
Yeah, even with the shirt on, those chops still got to hurt, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. They cut right through. Because a chop not only stings, and it stings like a mother, but it stings you on the chest or the back, and it also takes the air out of your lungs. So it might sting a little bit less, but the force that those guys are throwing those with, air is escaping, you know, you're breathless in the ring. That's never fun.
Yeah. Super Dragon, as we started to see just a few moments ago, going for that Psycho Driver pretty early in the match. Super Dragon, one of these guys, Larry, that you're really not going to see him go for the coup de grace, the Psycho Driver, until about 20 or maybe 15 minutes in the match. He's one of these guys that likes to wear you down throughout the matchup.
Like Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Right.
You know, the longer the match goes, the more he's likely to win it. It takes him 10 minutes just to get warmed up.
You got that right.
Oh, nice. Very effective. Very effective. They're both down.
And Kevin Steen with 219 pounds. You know, there's only so much cardiovascular shape you can be in, and the longer this match goes, we both talked about it. Super Dragon now getting aerial, and you can tell, just as you mentioned, like Greg Valentine, Super Dragon definitely getting warmed up right about now.
Yeah, he's coming to life now, and that was a very hard hit that Kevin Steen took to the back of the head via Super D's heel, his boot. My God, they're both down on the floor, and referee Bryce Remsburg not letting the count in because, well, I suppose he could be counting them both out of the ring.
But you know, these fans paid good money here. We don't want to see a double count out.
That's typical of Remsburg, though. He's never doing his job. He does his job when he chooses. What a bum.
You sound like Kingston.
Hey, Eddie Kingston, another speaker of the truth. That's just how that, you know, you call it like it is, and you get put on trial for that.
What are you, a Kingston president and vice president of the I Hate Bryce Remsburg fan club?
Hey, I'm just calling it like it is. Bryce likes to do his job sometimes. He does his job when he feels like it.
Whoa, what a cannonball senton.
But I'm a very big fan of the Kings.
And what was interesting there, Larry, is that Super Dragon didn't hook the leg. There's almost a part of me that thinks that he didn't want the match to end at that point.
Maybe not. Like I said, he's a sick bastard. You know, he likes to inflict punishment. Me, when I go out there, inflict a little bit, strut a little bit. You know, I have a very well-rounded approach.
Yeah.
Super Dragon, though, is he a nihilist?
Excuse me?
Is he a nihilist?
A
Doesn't
nihilist?
believe in anything?
That's quite possible. Drops him with that gut breaker. Now going up top, Kevin Steen very aerial for a man his size.
Wow.
You gotta be kidding me. What a senton.
I thought that was 3.
Trained by Pierre-Carl Oulet. You remember him, don't you?
Oh, sure, the Quebecers.
Right.
Whenever we play the wrestling name game, the Quebecers is forefront on the mind of Larry Sweeney.
Yeah, wasn't it Pierre Lafitte, too?
Pierre Lafayette,
yeah,
I believe.
Lafayette?
Would be the French pronunciation.
Oh. In Louisiana, anyway.
He was a cannonball of the man. Yeah, the Louisiana pronunciation.
And Kevin Steen now calling for the end, maybe setting him up for the package pile driver.
No.
Dragon, what a veteran he is by dropping to one knee. Locking.
Yeah, knows exactly how to escape it, you know? Wherever his mind is right now, he's still got his wits about him.
Dragon lands on his feet. Oh, what a super kick! Right to the chin!
Right to the chops, yeah.
Kevin Steen covering him like a champion, hooking that leg.
2, says Bryce. You know, I think it was a little bit slow. I'm going to go ahead and agree with Steen there. That was a little bit slow.
You Chikara guys hate Remsburg, don't you?
I think he's exhausted at this point. He should have less matches in the night. Then maybe he'll have more of his wind about him.
Well, we'd have to see more of Derek Sabata.
Well, okay. I'm going to have to think about that.
And Kevin Steen going up top. And Kevin Steen, I mean, that preamble before the match of begging ROH to take him back. They didn't want him in the first place. They don't want him now.
Well, begging isn't... I would not think that would be the way to get in a Ring of Honor.
It's not very becoming of a champion. It's not very honorable.
It's not very honorable, yeah.
Steen now going up top. Dragon can do anything up there. Reverse DDT, a German suplex.
Yikes. Oh, man, what's he got in mind?
Maybe hooking him for a suplex here.
Hey, buddy. Oh, man. Both those guys crashing down hard. I think Dragon might have gotten the worst of that.
I think you're right. Because, I mean, just talk about the strength that it took Dragon to even lift Kevin Steen up at that point.
Yeah. And then having a fraction of Steen's weight on top of Super D's body, yeah. Yikes, a hard hit for both guys. But, hell, Dragon's first to his feet.
Yep.
He's going to the top.
Kevin Steen, who ended the title reign of your old partner, Frankie the Mobster.
Hey, wait a minute, look at this. That's B.J. Whitmer.
That's B.J. Whitmer. The enemy has landed. The enemy has landed, sweetie.
What's he doing? Wait a minute. Steen with the package pile driver. What does this mean? What does this mean? Is he in ROH now?
He isn't. Wait a minute.
Why is Whitmer helping him out?
You saw Dragon get involved before with Whitmer earlier in the night on the Ring of Honor show. Now Whitmer calling shots.
What goes around comes around. And wow, speaking of coming around, down hard on Super D, and that's it.
What a disgrace! A rat has entered the building. A rat has entered the building.
He came in from the street. He's in the ring now. The locker room has got to be aware of this.
I can't believe he's even standing after what happened to him.
I can't either.
Earlier in the evening. What a disgrace.
Get out of the ring. Get out of the ring. Hey, Sandy. For the past 3 months, all I've heard is you talking shit and saying fuck the Canadians. Well, the Canadians are what saved your fucking company, pal. So you know what? What you did to this man earlier was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. And I will not stand for it. So you know what, Dragon? Me and PJ, next month, you and any fucking piece of shit from that locker room who wants a piece of us. How about that, huh?
Watch out.
Wait a minute.
It's a Necro Butcher.
We're going to see it here. Necro Butcher wants a piece of him.
And he's still got a match tonight. He's got a very big match tonight.
He sure does.
What a
He's got a
ballsy
mystery
bastard.
opponent. I don't know who his mystery opponent is going to be, but I think he's got an opponent now. B.J. Whitmer.
Right to the knee. Right to the knee of Necro Butcher.
Oh, man.
And that's the only way you're going to take that crazy bastard out.
This is personal. Necro Butcher's been showing up at those Ring of Honor shows with
No, he's back on his feet.
Whitmer with a couple of forearm smashes. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Man alive.
Kevin Steen, I don't know if he's a part of Team Ring of Honor or he's just a turncoat in general.
Yikes. Yikes.
This is unbelievable.
Super Dragon trying to get up too, but Whitmer's having none of that. To the outside goes Super Dragon. What's he doing here?
BJ Whitmer is the enemy.
No, Explorer.
Oh, come on! Get him out of here!
That's enough.
Go shake some hands and hit the bricks.
God. I hope Whitmer's healed up because when Necro Butcher's better, he's going to have to run faster than he's ever run in his life.
Oh, yeah. They're looking to cripple him, Larry.
No, no. No, he's not wearing boots.
Oh, man.
He's not wearing shoes. He's not wearing boots. He's got nothing.
No! No!
Oh.
Super Dragon now has a chair. Good.
Steen a little bit slow and getting to the outside, trying to avoid that shot.
Here comes Team CZW.
Here they come. Robbie Moreno, Ruckus, Eddie Kingston. And BJ Whitmer out the front door. BJ Whitmer out the front door. Wow.
And look at that. With all the beef that Ruckus and Super Dragon have, they put their differences aside to represent our company. Where are your loyalties, Sweeney?
Hey, I haven't worked for Ring of Honor.
All right.
Man. You know, a guy like this, a guy like the Necro Butcher, he does so much stuff, and you know, you think he's invincible, you think he's infallible. That's not the case.
This is not right, Larry. I mean, when you take out somebody's knee, I mean, you could end a career like that.
Yeah, you're affecting their livelihood. We're all professional wrestlers. You know, it's like Gorilla Monsoon used to say. Every time you've got a guy in a hammerlock, you could break his arm, but you just don't. There's a line that you don't cross, but it might have been crossed.
An ethical line.
An ethical line. For God's sakes, this is the man's job.
I mean, how big is this? You got two guys in Super Dragon and Ruckus that have just been beating each other up over the last couple of months for that World Heavyweight Championship. They've put it aside for CZW. Oh, wait a minute.
Wait, you might have spoke too soon now when it comes to Ruckus, but Eddie Kingston.
Robbie trying to calm things down.
Once King gets riled up, you can't calm him down.
Yeah.
You cannot. I think he might be a rageaholic.
I think you're right. I mean, just because you're on the same team doesn't mean you have to like each other. Just ask Terrell Owens and Donovan McNabb about that.